Let's shift our focus to Brazil. Brazilian President Luiz Inacio Lula da Silva has now signed an executive order that tightens civilian access to firearms. This move slows down the surge in gun ownership that skyrocketed during the presidency of his far-right predecessor, Jair Bolsonaro. The decree reduces the number of guns civilians can possess for personal safety from 4 to 2. Not long ago, Brazilians could easily get their hands on sophisticated guns, including those reserved for the police and the army. However, President Lula da Silva aims to change that. The new regulation also requires documentation affirming the necessity for possessing a weapon and decreasing the amount of ammunition a person can have per gun. This executive order fulfills a campaign promise by Lula da Silva, who was an ardent critic of Bolsonaro's gun control measures. Silva had argued that increasing amount of firearms triggered were responsible for a wave of political violence during last year's elections. Gun ownership skyrocketed in the Latin American country during Bolsonaro's tenure. Bolsonaro had voiced that good citizens should be entitled to protect their families and their assets. The former president loosened restrictions and encouraged the purchase of firearms. Gun manufacturers also saw their influence grow, especially within the conservative political sphere.
Porque aqui tem muita violência, então se muitas pessoas tiverem acesso às armas, então pode acontecer muitas tragédias, sabe? Então eu acho que diminuindo o acesso pode ser que diminui também a violência. A violência é geral.
According to the 2023 Brazilian Yearbook of Public Security, Brazil has nearly 800,000 gun owners compared to 117,467 in 2018. Although Brazil has no constitutional right to bear arms, Bolsonaro argued that an armed population can never be enslaved. However, Lula da Silva's regulation restricts his predecessor's statute. Lula also passed responsibility for civilian weapons from the army to the federal police. The army was criticized for weak oversight, incomplete database, and little transparency. Gun owners who bought their weapons during the previous administration will not be forced to give them up. However, the regulation aims to start a buyback program from this year.
Seeing it, I saw the plan. Sorry, my parents didn't make laws. They should have.